everyone, I'm back again because I have a little to share on our uniqueness of inner world being, which in the quiet you can call soul, right? That we don't often let out enough as of past, but we will become more aware of how to stand up for this in the world and how to nurture your inner world as a part of becoming whole as your soul, as your soul has come here to do, and the human is in conscious walking agreement. Well, a good way to hold space now for soul is to use the eyes. And so we are talking, we're leading into perception, because that is definitely it. There's been, of the past, there is like opinion disguised as perception. Whereas perception is, this is just my perception. I don't hold a strong ego or like opinionated to my perception. I'm not enforcing my perception. And what the energy of the person is trying to do when you get the opinion and the ego out of the way, that I have to uphold this, what the soul is actually trying to do is just come forth and say, this is my uniqueness. But it has seemed like a battle in this world for anyone to listen to people's uniqueness. So what I'm saying is, we haven't really held space for the uniqueness of the soul beings we are. The being takes up space. The being, like, you're meant to. We have held space. We hold an energetic space and connection to all, as much as we can perceive, allow, feel connected to. It's all quite possible, which is what's happening. If we can hold space for people to be and have their space, like everyone has some space to express themselves as they are, and we have less egotistical, judgmental opinion coming through, trying to take up space or take over space. So I mean that in a way that, well, pretty much it's straight to the point. But I mean that in a way that it's essentially heart-led communication, which is where you want to get yourself to. So if you're holding space for, I now perceive you as a soul, which means I can't lay my old human mentality patterns on you. Because that's essentially what it was. It was like the mental thought field, accumulation held in place for us just to look at each other on the surface and repeat whatever's in the field of how we go about life. Now we can't avoid, we're in the evolution of truth, which is rising up in your energy, out of the old, shine the solar plexus through the chest of your true expression. To summarize, letting people do that, hushing the ego down, getting it out of the way completely, or tell it in the back seat, you know, you're too judgmental. Shh. Okay, we got to lead with heart, because that's the evolution. Like, that is what is called of us. And we can do it. That's why it's called of us. And we're just waking to the fact that we've come here to do that. So at this point, I want to mention how cool this looks. You see this light coming through? Well, my desk is here and the lamp's over there, and the light is shining through this like gap of the desk. There's a gap, and how cool is it that it lines up with the eagle in flight? That's a message. That is so freaking cool. I mean, none of that's planned for the height of that and that height of everything shining that light through. Awesome. So my heart would like to share a couple more things to do with that, what I just said, via my heart's expression. And that is, I want to get another animal card, and also my little Bhagavad Gita book. As I've been tidying it up, it keeps coming into view, like, and to be moved to, like, I would move it to another spot because I rearranged something, and then I move it again because I'm rearranging something. So it's trying to tell me, pick it up and share something. Okay, so there's something in there that will open to, that will relate to us. And I need more light on the matter. Okay, animal cards. Alright. I got a feeling we should open Bhagavad Gita first. So I might just take my old bookmarks out, because I'm sure I've referred to those pages enough. Let's get something. Or maybe I haven't read from these little old bookmarks, because they've just been, I remember, points that I found important. Yes, I should read from one of them. This one. First one I opened to. Okay. So I don't know what it is. I marked it a long time ago with this little piece of paper. It is Chapter 3, Text 30, Translation. Therefore, O Aruna, surrendering all your works unto me, with mind intent on me, and without desire for gain, and free from egoism and lethargy, fight. Aha. This is like at the beginning, you know, where he has to serve. So not put his human cares in the way for what if I do wrong by the humans, because the fight entails that he goes against what others want and essentially fight to kill, because he's following divine instruction. So that's what life can look like at its, you know, at its worst, essentially. That sometimes you have to walk a path where you're going to, it seems, hurt others or make drastic change, but the divine path is saying that there is things in motion before you, there is things in motion after you. We need you to do this work. So if you know it to be true when he calls on guidance, then that's the truth. That's the truth for you in the moment to follow. So the purport is, so the elaboration of it. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties, as if in military discipline. Such an injunction, sorry, the words are small and I've got Matthias mucking around in my headspace energy, so I will get through this, and I don't really need reading glasses. This isn't an eyesight thing, essentially. Only for like the tiniest tiny, you know, like on the back of like ingredients and stuff on boxes, but this is not too bad. It's just the light and the muck around with the energy. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, so the divine. You are getting your guidance, no matter what seems like on earth, the highest and purest light is giving you guidance to follow through on, because you've made a commitment before you came, and you know when your time comes to do certain things, you can feel it, but then, you know, it can be a very moral kind of battle, and you know, it really can go against like, but I have like loyalty to this human experience so far, to these people, to this life. And so you're kind of doing a bit of a battle with that and what you're led to do. And you've essentially come here as part of the divine. So it doesn't matter what the humans have got set up so far. This is either like, it's all soul expansion. So soul growth, soul intelligence, soul is being like asked to pass tests in a way, to follow through on soul, because it essentially helps everyone else in the field, even though it doesn't look like it. Yeah, so, you know, this is very human felt experience, but the amazing part of the divine interplay and the way it does its work. Because that is the constitutional practice of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Now, you know, it's not saying subordinate is not saying I will take charge of you, because obviously it is the divine in all of us that we serve. So it's for the highest good. So you become subordinate, meaning you can call it co-creation, but we have decorated that a little with some like superficial manifestation kind of thing. This is more like it hits real, it hits home. It's asking you to make great change in transformation, putting what you know in your gut you are led to do first, because the powers of the divine are at work with you and in you and want to come into this world and create that change. And you've agreed to do this particular thing. You just know it when you know it. Like, it just won't go away. It's something you have to do. Like, at the moment, it is about heart opening action, and don't be afraid to let any voice that's been hidden within come out, no matter what kind of reaction it creates in the world. If it's your inner voice, and if it is like the power of a loving experience, but held back by fears, you know, like obviously Krishna and Arjuna didn't go through that kind of thing. Like, Arjuna couldn't see that there would be positivity from this, but that's when, you know, he gets the wisdom that it's not your choice to make, because it's already been made. That it, you know, and then you realize the wisdom as you go through what you're actually releasing in that, from the human to the divinity in you. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation, so co-creation, cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the good will of the Supreme Lord, and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna, or however, I like Arjuna. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls, therefore one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, or I like to call divine conscious. Okay, there's too much separation in this world at times with how we divide. So yes, Krishna, but it's wholly the divine. So divine consciousness, Krishna conscious, is called in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious is called Adhyatma, Satasa. I always have to stop and pause to read these words, because, you know, they take your mind out of like English pronunciation into trying to slow down and get it, you know, as correctly said as possible. And I like to do that. Nerdish means that one has to act on the order of the master. Nor should one ever expect fruitive results. You can know that the good is coming when you act in alignment. Good is coming when you act in alignment. But yeah, it's not recommended to, you know, act just for the fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim assent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of may, or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigata Pana. No, that's not a P, that's a J. Jvara, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness, as described above, that will lead one to the path of liberation. I hope you followed along with my pauses to make sure I got everything out. But the main point of the beauty in that message, you know, the untouchable beauty, the felt beauty, is the Krishna consciousness, divinity, supreme, ultimate light power source that wants the highest good for all. The Krishna consciousness and the ultimate fact and truth. It is a fact because that's why I'm feeling it. It's true because I've felt it and I'm feeling it via the beauty in the words of the truth. Liberation for all. For all who learn to follow through on a path that's been set up for them via the divine before birth into this field of light. That we work with that divine, supreme Lord, Godhead here, no matter how it appears to what's already in motion, set in place, that you've been a part of. It's asking you to play a bigger role if it's calling you to maybe do something that initially looks like a mess. So we can breathe into that and be held. I loved in there how it covered that all, I think it was on the second page, all is worked out in that way. That we are held by the bigger powers, asking us to do something that may appear initially messy, like not of the norm, not pleasing everyone, but it's for the powers of a bigger purpose. So one has to embrace that they are part of a bigger purpose. And that's embracing the Supreme Godhead, Krishna, Lord. I like that they call it Godhead because, divinity, the highest power, Supreme Lord, Godhead, because it helped me understand why I had to have this book. Because God and head, just those two words for a human is like separation. But this is, we're talking about the Godhead, This is like the beauty in the fabric of the life that we are. Thank you for letting me share that. Now, wasn't that just absolutely perfect for everything that we're going through? Oh my God. Okay, I just need to check in with my guides because the animal cards fell off my leg here where they were resting, and I'm drawn to one card, but I just want to make sure that it's not because I like the card. No, I do believe it is the card. I picked them all up from the pile they fell into, and this one caught my attention. Others didn't. So, grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. Number 30. Isn't it gorgeous? I mean, it's the colors and design and everything, but the message as well. Illuminated. All right, 30. Take a leap of faith. Oracle message. Right now, you are poised to jump into the next level of your life and move forward into something even better than you could have ever imagined. When grasshopper spirit appears, it is a fortuitous time to take a leap into the unknown. For grasshopper spirit represents the innovative spirit that says, why not? And has faith in the powers of co-creation. You are being called to trust that this is the right time to go with that idea, relationship, or situation. Take risks, for abundance in all forms will show up for you. Wondrous things await when grasshopper spirit appears. Just in that sentence, it made me think of, like grasshopper, like ninja focus kind of thing, like. Is it a grasshopper that's in like Kung Fu Panda? Like grasshopper, yeah, grasshopper pose or something. So the grasshopper represents this. So the focus came to me like grasshopper gets his focus. Now where was I up to? Wondrous things await when grasshopper spirit appears. You are not going, yeah. Take risks, for abundance in all forms will show up for you. Wondrous things await when grasshopper spirit appears. You are not going to go backward. So listen to your intuition rather than your fearful ego that resists any change and clings worriedly to what was. Luck is on your side. Jump up and forward with confidence, for spirit has so much in store for you if only you take that leap. Protection message of Grasshopper. Is it hard for you to trust in good fortune because you have been hurt in the past when you took a risk? Staying earthbound does not offer the safety you seek, for that can be found only through trusting that Spirit is always with you and wants the best for you. Your intuition is guidance from Spirit, telling you to let go of your fears and leap into the abundance and good fortune awaiting you. Grasshopper Spirit reminds you that the only way is to jump forward. Can you be willing to trust the unknown, the great mystery that you can't fully understand? Even if you take the teeniest leap in consciousness to be willing, it's a beautiful beginning. Sure, every leap forward brings a new challenge, but you can handle it with Spirit as your partner. What was the word called in Bhagavad Gita? Cooperation, like cooperation partner. But you can handle it with Spirit as your partner, trusting that this new experience will only deepen your life with magic and meaning. Take the leap. Awesome. I should have stuck this up here while I was reading it, so you could really see the power in the grasshopper. And a lot of that power you can see, I'm thinking about his pose and how he leaps forward, is from the arms and the chest. Because he has to get like down like this, doesn't he? And he gets ready, and then the hind legs assist. So I'm just thinking like that part of the grasshopper in its design is, you know, I trust in Spirit on earth and my body takes me. Awesome. Okay, so that's those two things that I needed to share. And I'll just check with Spirit, my Spirit connection with Spirit, if there's anything else. I'll just turn the light off again. Spirit is essentially just enjoyed the beauty that I expressed through our creative expression on earth. Like, they enjoyed that. Like, this is a Colette's Animal Spirit deck, and obviously the Bhagavad Gita been passed through time. They just thoroughly enjoyed that grounding connect with me. just want to share that essentially it's an expression of staying true to you. And that can look messy or different to others. But it is the way, against all odds, how overall it's divinely set up for you to become more of you. And in you becoming more of you, you assist others. Even though it doesn't look like it from the mental perspective or perception, because it's more powerful than the mind and more integrated internally, that it must be lived out. That's the whole thing, isn't it? The soul is integrated with this body, mind, heart, soul. So even if we gotta go through the transformation of stripping off the old, and you have to go into like parts of yourself you thought you had shut down, and they gotta come up and out, and everything else with it, at least it's up and out, because it doesn't make for a good human experience when you gotta hold it in your vessel. And that's another thing that came from earlier this morning when I spoke and then listened to a few other spiritual leaders, like the young people that are stepping into their soul paths with their readings that I shared on Facebook. I know because I can connect with their level of energy and perception. Yeah. So, I've got to be careful not to go off on a tangent, because then I've got to find my way back to where I was. Essentially, yeah, the quieter essence in you and the peeling off of what you decided was going to be you, or felt like you had to survive through it and became something, but still we can't have layers hidden within. We can think we can, but there's going to be some times, no doubt about it, that who we truly are has to come out. So all the beauty, all the mess that perhaps we had piled on top of the hidden beauty that we didn't even know was beauty, because at the time we were just doing what we could, becoming something in the world. But the soul is deeper, and there's an integrated plan inside, and that's going to show up for you to express. It's going to show up for you to express. And essentially, that's what it is. Your expression or expressiveness. That's what you're looking for. You've got to express yourself. And fly like an eagle. Essentially, we are free. good and grateful. I'm getting more and more connection with my spiritual team. You know, life happens in layers for all of us, and the more we go through whatever we've got to go through, and we face the challenges, the more we see what we've broken through is we've cleared the path for ourselves. We know more of ourselves. Isn't it just amazing, really? Like, through all the hard work and everything, it's essentially keep putting down your barriers, go through what you got to go through, but yeah, check in so that you can come back up, rising again in who you are. Yeah, so I love it when more layers get peeled away into more of a clearing state, and like I'm even feeling more, when I say spoken, like I noticed, I watched the start of my last video, just a little bit at the start of it, and I said something about when energy speaks. It's not like human speak, although sometimes it can be auditorially, like you hear a message, just a short kind of message, just enough, not much of like a sentence, just enough, because they know that's enough. They're overseeing the whole thing of energy, and they know your energy. But no, I just want to say that you feel it as you peel away the energy of 3D. You can feel the energy of the beautiful natures, like, because every soul is unique, but it's just of a higher, like everyone's part of the like a wholeness spectrum, you know, everyone's got their own. So like when Dr. David Clements was talking to Pamela Gregory, astrologist, to do with the different feelings and visions that he was having, his connection. Well, this feels like now, through the opening of everything, not just this conversation I've heard, obviously, what's happening for me is that they feel even closer. Like the connection of the beautiful spiritual presence can actually reach me a bit more clearly, because I've been at the throat and third eye chakra consciousness doing the inner workings of the clarity, clearing out what doesn't resonate for me and is not essentially wholly a part of my path, like to get involved with 3D stuff. It's just, it doesn't bring me my highest feelings. So I just rise in consciousness clarity with spirit of my path. Yeah. So that's another thing, like with the Bhagavad Gita reading, that when you're working for the Supreme Lord, or however you'd like to describe this crystalline ultimate light, that's in service of all, and we are part of that service, then you don't have a want for abundance. It just flows where needed, or when needed, or how needed. because that's essentially, you know, that's the highest. So yeah, where your attention goes, where your focus goes, the energy grows of that. I can smell the rain. It's lovely. Oh, the rain clouds, because we have had a little bit of it. I think that's it. No, there always seems, I know when there's something more I want to share. And it's probably through my description of this connection. Yeah, they do want to embody that more. Come through even clearer. So, the overall topic of conversation has been about standing up for the truth of light in all. So go about your ways and days full of this glory. That we are of service behind you all. That loving angelic presence held and holding you in all that you do. And we are only to get higher and higher in this loving awareness. And who knows where it can take you. It is not of concern where it takes you, only that it does. It's guaranteed that it will always take you to a place of necessity. Necessary for you and all included. I love that feeling of wholeness. That as we each take our steps into the unknown in our own paths, sometimes the mind says that it's just my path, it's just small, it's just me, how can I make a change, make a difference? You know, into this dooms mentality. But that's sincerely and truly not a part of it. because you all have wings. Heavenly beings. So, if it feels like there's unknown, which there is, that's good. You have wings. You can make it through anything. Okay? Feel blessed. Heaven on earth. Wings on earth. You're doing your best, and that's all we ask. Doing your best. Godliness and gratefulness, hand in hand. Laws of the land. Oh, I love that. I so love that. I know you know I love that. God in us and our gratefulness hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. And be content. You have to have a ongoing grateful presence. That's divinity. If we lose our appreciation of the whole, we lose the awareness that that is the law of the land. A grateful heart can have everything. It's humbling. The journey of to humble ourselves into being grateful of everything. That is the ultimate godliness. And that speaketh law of the land. This is heaven's land. And yeah, heaven will land. Can I excuse myself now so that I can just bathe in this light? I just love this higher, expansive beauty reminder. See how the beauty of word, like for instance, like the Bhagavad Gita, or just word from the angels, animal spirit, word of spirit. This beauty is immeasurable. Immeasurable. There is no You can't buy it. Like fine wine. I know they'll let me out of here by the 60th minute because that's where I say, okay. Because unless it's really important, I will deliver. But, you know, I think an hour is good. I don't mind an hour and a half sometimes if we're really hitting something. But I think even like, just reminds me of the perspective I hold with any work day, like any offering of service with the human being. You definitely need like I want to say distraction break. You need go and have 5 to 10 minutes to yourself break. Like just human vessel, everything that's always going on, just remember to take like real care of the self. That you can't just keep going and going and going. You have to actually take breaths, put your feet on the earth, slip your feet out of the workday shoes, put them on the ground. I mean, maybe save that for your lunch break, but at any time. Just let all the mind and all the functionality of got to do's, let it go, because underneath there is more to our foundation, especially in this new. So we can really connect with more of our multidimensional energy field, and you bring more of a rejuvenated being into play. Like back into work, or, you know, yeah, back into work, back into any service you feel called to do. Just as I thought I might be winding down, I think I'm winding back in. This is all good, but I do have Matthias doing his circulation thing, and it does draw on my field and my energy. So make sure you give me this assistance, light, guides, teams. We are here as your light, guidance, teams, heaven on earth. And we will be continuing with much support. For the immense activity has called forth. And don't be afraid or think Teresa or this out of the norm activity. breathing in and receiving will become like doors opening to your path. And yes, we do have particular souls and spirits who are guiding these lights. Think it as normal that if you choose to receive and will and willing to receive opening guidance within your field, you have everything you need to make this available. So, all of you give yourself, and as one whole, a big hug. You are creating immense growth for your planet. We are extremely impressed. That we can be a part of this. And yous are the creators of the fabric. The divine is the canvas of your tapestry. By no means is the canvas still natured. It's in motion. And the way you join it with your unique creations, we are truly blessed. And we look forward to continued work together. We do hope you will open more. At the chest. Hug yourselves, and that is hugging the whole. Love yourselves, and that is loving the whole. Breathe into the power of this. Let it settle into your beingness. This is the atmosphere of bliss. And yes, the time has come for this. Let it in. Matthias. I say that, and I was called to address because in separation, one fights this bliss. They will find any reason to blame the separation they've created. She is not on the other side of anything. She is one with. Why do you create separation continuous? So blame yourself, but don't take too long, because it's all right in front of you. Don't blame anyone. Don't create separation in any way. Otherwise, you'll keep getting the teachings of the same thing. Humble. There is not one God. God is the provider of all. We are children, and we call this forth. As we cooperate in service, we call on divinity to take us forth. Oh, we have some powerful teams at play. Oh, I just want to rest my head on that. It's like a pillow. There is so much heavenly love atmosphere at play. Oh, Christ. Where have you been all my life? You often hear that said for another human. Well, that has been said to a human. He's well aware of that, but he still has this division into play that must drop. Don't keep trying to get from me in your division. It's insanity. You have a power play struggle by doing it. You pretend that you don't, but you keep putting up walls to do it. I need to be seen as this. I need to be seen as that. I need to be something. You don't. You'll be seen as whatever you're seen as when you do what's been asked of you. I don't have time for anything else. For Christ's sake, there's enough division in this world. Don't nurture division. Nurture love. You know when they say living the dream? Well, my life experience, how do I put this without it being taken down to earth, like the old energy terms? Let's let the guides do it. Give me your words. Like I call on them, but I still have my eyes open operating. Let's just call on them to explain what I felt like I had to try to get through, like any density in the field. Okay. So in relation to, I'm living my dream. All right? It's coming from me. I'm living my dream. It's opening. Oh, they love this. They're going to have fun with this. Since before birth, she knew what was to occur. Born into the arms of earth. Ingrained in her that someday all of her would join up again. Guides, I don't mean to interrupt, but just as I earlier have been listening to various other teachers and guides of us humans, the reason why I will share them is because they speak this truth that is awareness. So it just all relates. You will attract the people that honestly, like truth, throat chakra, resonate, because there's less and less of the old energy getting in the way of our connections. Yeah. You know how we do that? Do you know how, like, we actually assist the field? It's when you truly desire something and you don't know how it will come about, but you have this energetic speaking to you that says, I want to know more about that. I want to know more about that. And it leads you somewhere. And then, oh, I'm going to look at that or watch more of that teacher or something like this. So what really opened my path of this, of having come from like natural therapy studies, aromatherapy, massage, Reiki, into acupuncture, and then into more of the energetics of Reiki, into spiritual intuitiveness, because I was using that in the hands-on therapy. And then it grows and grows, and you say, what more? I still don't feel like I've got to my core. And then you attract something in the field, because you're staying open to this. And then I hear Esther Hicks channeling Abraham. And that was it. Oh my God, did I connect to that truth? And then more. So around the same time was Carolyn Mace, Sonia Choquette, and various others. So I removed the blocks by saying, what more? I don't feel like I've reached my core. No, it wasn't the material world focus as which job do I want to aim for perspective. It was the moreness inside. So if you listen to the moreness inside and you allow the space of that, then you remove blocks not only for yourself but for consciousness in the field. Okay? And I just kept getting excited at the heart, throat, solar plexus clearing, because I knew from my soul coming here to do spiritual evolution work, I just kept getting excited, knowing clearly that what I do and break down barriers for myself, for relationships in my life, if everything is not matching this truth from inside, then something has to give. You know, we must have different paths, or I'm meant to, what's the moreness leading me, you know? So making space for that. And I think we're coming back around full circle because, are we guides? Because we started with this elaboration on stay true to yourself. I think they might have something to add, and we could go on. Okay. Stay true to yourself. Only that we have exclaimed before, exclaimed in a previous recording, what else or what more do you do this for? You must come home and nurture that truth that is you. Give this light essence of you in view. God bless, God bless, God bless. Isn't this the exciting part where it starts to get good? When you can ask the question, why or what does it mean to stay true to you? Well, what more do you do it for? To connect with your world in the best loving, guided guidance intent. Join with us and we will all breathe. Amen. 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 Arms out wide planetarily. We move. Us. Me and you. Mm. Gracious and grateful with gratitude. Mm. Creation. Fill your cup and let it pour out. Grateful. Let others drink from your cup. Not without filling. Consistently. Consistently it is a given. Don't get in the way of the filling. Don't get in the way of the filling. God bless, God bless, God bless us all. Is all said? Big hugs right round circle table. Life, existence. Heaven led. Heaven sent. Led. Mwah, mwah, mwah. God bless them. God bless us. One with them. God bless us all. Grateful, grateful, grateful. I love you all. Heaven loves us all. We are all love. Let us live this to our fullness of cup. Overflowing where it must. Brilliant. That's a great way of putting it. We can speak, share your cup. Yes, this is true. But it's from an overflowing of you, where it must. So let's not get in the way of it. So remember, that might make a mess. Don't matter. If all is coming from the overflowing cup, being led. So we learn what it means to listen to being open, to cooperation of being led. Because we can get in the way with it, with the past. But all is building a healthy, loving, light-filled existence. That's what we're doing, consistent. You just keep filling my cup. I feel love drunk. Okay. And gracious they are. We got plenty more. Oh, that's so sweet. So intelligent. We can feed you love anytime. Just make space for us. Oh, Christ. Quite literally. Christos light. Pure. Gorgeous. We're all so lucky. From me to them, from them to me, from them through me to us. The chrysalis of Christos, heaven and earth. Like the heartbeat of the purest intelligence, availability, one with the heartbeat of highest, or whatever you like to describe it, purest intelligence, available to us. That's that heartbeat. Oh, stop it. Seriously. We have this connection, and it's just overpowering with how heavenly word speaks to earthly experience, and just when it all comes together. So, you know, I guess you could call it a fluctuate phase of expansion. Emanate. the light of Christ. It feels good. All right then. Are we complete? There is a giggle to that statement. Oh my God, just like my drunk sounding giggle. Christ. Don't keep calling on us when I say Christ. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Bye for now. I hope you get drunk on light as well.